More business decisions occur over lunch and dinner than at any other time, yet no courses are given on the subject. Peter Drucker. My name is Courtney Shockey, and I will be talking about table manners and etiquette at business-related meals. When you are part of a business, much of your success, or lack thereof, can be associated with how you act outside of your normal business environment. That being said, everything that you say or do when attending a business-related meal can affect your goal to generate further revenue for your business. While you're at a business lunch, you can either be surrounded by some of your peers, which include partners and employees, or you could be surrounded by clients, either future or current. To secure your goal of obtaining more business, you should behave appropriately and exhibit proper dining etiquette throughout the meal. To know how to act properly while dining, you must know how to act before the meal, during the meal, and after the meal. Since you may be meeting a client or employer for the first time on this business-related meal, how you act before the meal itself sets the precedent and the impression of how the rest of the meal will go. Before you arrive to the event, make sure you are properly dressed for the occasion. Try to have a snack before. If you arrive to the restaurant hungry, you might focus more on the food than those speaking around you. Arrive on time or even earlier. If you happen to be late, contact the host or the restaurant. If the host is late, give them about 15 minutes before checking to make sure your plans didn't change. Make sure you silence your cell phone. Although vibrate is better than your phone going off in the middle of the meal, it is still distracting and irritating to those around you. You should always begin by shaking hands with everyone at the table, not just those you are unfamiliar with. Introduce yourself if it's necessary. Make sure you concentrate on the name of your host of the meal, as well as those who are important to the transaction. You should remain standing until the host motions for everyone to sit as a sign of respect for the host. Upon sitting, place your napkin over your lap, but only do so after everyone has sat down and your host has placed their napkin across their lap as well. As you sit in your chair, make sure your posture is upright and you are not leaning back in your chair. For this meal is not for your luxury or leisure, it is a business transaction. When ordering, don't ask the waiter to explain the items on the menu. It may come off as annoying to those around you, and you can appear high maintenance and indecisive in your decision making. As you order your meal, let the host order first so that you can get a general idea of what to order yourself. In the case that the host does not order first, it would be a good idea to ask for their recommendation since they more than likely have been to the restaurant before. Make sure you do not order foods that are difficult to eat and can result in a mess. For example, one should order a salad or a chicken plate instead of pasta, soup, or other handheld foods. Also, don't order any food that you are unfamiliar with eating. When considering which item to order on the menu, be aware of the price and avoid getting the most expensive dish. Try not to drink any alcoholic beverages, but if you choose to do so, stick to a one-drink limit. Drinking excessive amounts of alcohol during business transactions can make you speak of things you normally wouldn't and damage the image of yourself as well as your company. Manners that are exhibited during the meal itself are also of great importance. First, remember to take your time while eating and give your attention to those that speak. Remember to wait until your host takes the first bite. You should also wait to salt your food before you taste it. It is insulting to the chef and is considered rude. You should cut your meal into bite-sized pieces to avoid biting food whole off of your fork. In the case that bread is given for your table, you should also break off one piece at a time. If a certain dish is given a sauce to be shared with another, spoon a portion of the sauce onto your plate instead of dipping your food directly into the sauce. Refrain from blowing on your food if it's too hot. You should wait until it cools naturally, which also shows patience to those sitting around you. Throughout the meal, always remember to keep your elbows off the table and never speak with a mouthful of food. If you are asked a question, clear your mouth and put your silverware down. Remember to place your silverware on your plate and not the table itself. As you speak with those at the table, make sure you maintain good eye contact and avoid topics that tend to be controversial, such as religion or politics. When you have had enough to eat, stop eating. Overeating can cause one to feel uncomfortable or even tired as the business-related meal continues. Make sure to never lick your fingers or your utensils. A napkin is there for a reason. Lastly, saying please or thank you to your waiter as they serve you does make a difference, and those around you will notice. After you have finished eating, it is essential that you know how to end the meeting and the meal in the right way. You should first place your knife and fork down on the plate side by side to signal to your waiter that you have finished eating. When the check arrives for the table, refrain from checking the amount or offering to pay the tip. The host should take care of the check and take care of both of your expenses, since they were the one who invited you to partake in the business-related meal. Avoid using toothpicks due to the fact that you should not take care of personal hygiene in front of the host, whom you are trying to impress. As you say goodbye, make sure to thank the host for the meal and arrange in the meeting by shaking hands as you leave and keeping good eye contact. In conclusion, what happens before the meal, during the meal, and after the meal can either make or break your future within the business community. By properly executing table manners at business-related meals, you show future or current employers, as well as future and current clients, that you are ready for business. As a result, business meetings at restaurants should be taken as seriously as business transactions at the office. As Clarence Thomas once said, good manners will open doors.